A few years ago, a book was written called The Last Week by the famous scholars Marcus Borg and John Dominic Crossan. And they posed a really interesting idea because people have debated for 2,000 years, what was the resurrection? Did it really happen? And so they try to bring it to our 21st century minds. And they said, if a news video team was there with cameras, would they have been able to film the resurrection? To capture it for all time? Or maybe you consider the resurrection to be the essential legend or spiritual story that we celebrate in Easter, a hope that life goes on. And people have debated, and I must say, have fought over those two ideas. It was a historic reality. CNN could have captured it had they been there. For others, it is the Christian myth that speaks of ongoing life. But Borg and Crossan said more or less, who cares? What does it mean? What does it mean to you? Christos aneste. Christ is risen. What does it mean? I like to refer to it as the Easter thought, the resurrection idea, that we go on. And I doubt anyone in this room is going to face a physical crucifixion on a cross. That kind of violence isn't in our immediate surrounding, although such violence is still in our world today. But we do experience the crucifixion of our dreams, of our hopes, careers, relationships. Something that we held dear to our heart that seems to have died. That's a crucifixion experience, a death experience. But we have to look beyond that. What is the potential of new life, of new opportunity? To capture that resurrection idea, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, co-founders of Unity, call that resurrection the great demonstration of life over death. And they said it not only concerns our physical life, but also our spiritual life. No, Charles said, I'm not talking about life after your physical death in a so-called heaven. What's going on here, now, in your life? What are you facing that seems to have ended, and you're struggling with the pain and the suffering? Well, the Christ story is your hope. Not just a religious idea, but that life does not end. Surely it changes. Surely our experiences in this world ebb and flow. Things come to an end, but a new possibility is there. If we're willing to see it, if we're willing to look for it? I ask your pardon. Let me be a little personal here. Some of you that were here in the past couple of weeks know that I'm looking for a new home. My landlord called, said, "Hey, putting your place on the market, you're going to have to get out of there. Your home's come to an end. Just wanted to give you a little warning." I thought, oh, what am I going to do? And then I got a hold of myself. I caught a resurrection idea. Something good can come from this. A new possibility can take shape. And whenever any doubt or worry came up, where am I going to go? I reminded myself, there's an opportunity here. I said, I get to create a new home. I get to. Not I have to. I get to. Well, thanks for our good technology and our crew here. A friend of mine in Iowa who also was somewhat forced into moving and finding a new home. She said, I was listening to your lesson. She said, I got it. I heard you say, I get to create a new home. It's an opportunity. She said, that really helped me. I stopped complaining about the packing and all the physical effort it was going to take, and reminded myself, just like James, I get to create a new home. Many of you have studied with me the teachings of a clinical psychologist, Dr. Maria Nemeth. And she simply said, when change comes into your life, things seem to be ending, dying away. There's an obstacle. There's something getting in your way. What are you willing to be so that new good can come forth? What are you willing to envision, to think, to take a step toward, so that new good can appear in your life? Yes, the Fillmores referred to the Christ resurrection as the great demonstration. But they hoped that the Unity students of their day, the thousands that flocked around them, would catch this resurrection idea. I put it on the cover of your bulletin this morning. Charles' statement, one of many about the resurrection. Every time we rise to the realization of eternal indwelling life, making union with God mind, the resurrection of Jesus takes place within us. We catch the idea of the possibility. All thoughts of limitation and inevitable obedience to material law are left in the tomb of materiality. Catching this idea that things can be made new, that new possibilities are there for those that will walk toward the possibility. I love that statement of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Faith is taking that first step before you can see the entire staircase. It's being willing to step forward. Whatever the challenge may be, whatever the change may be, whatever the ending is that you're facing, you take a step toward your hope, your dream, your goal, your relationships, your careers, being transformed by life, coming again, but in a new form. Will you be vigilant and watch to see how is this new good going to show up in my life? A quotation that really causes me to pause from Paula Darce says, God shows up God shows up disguised as your life. God shows up as the possibilities in your life. Are you going to move toward them, embrace them, act on them, nourish them? Charles Fillmore said to his listeners in the 1930s during the so-called Great Depression, they put a collection of his writings together called Prosperity. That was a weird idea in the 1930s, with the physical realities that people were experiencing. And Charles said, you want greater prosperity in your life? Then do the things that make for prosperity. Now, he wasn't talking about putting money in the bank, buying smart investments, those kind of things that make for financial prosperity. Charles was talking about approaching life with gratitude, with a spirit that says, yes, I will take a step forward in the direction of my dreams and my hopes. Yes, I will greet each day like Easter, a day to celebrate life's renewal. Those are the things that make for a prosperity consciousness, a mindset that sees good possibilities, richness, joy in your life. That is the resurrection idea. I had to practice it, saying, uh-oh, there goes my home. There goes my sense of security. For 7 years, I felt very safe in this locked high-rise. Nobody bothered me. Nobody threatened me. No one tried to steal from me. I felt real good and secure. Now the landlord says it's over. So I have to find a new sense of home, a new sense of security and safety. I have to think, are those qualities that make me feel secure about life, are they really bound up with 6500 Woodlake Drive, Richfield, Minnesota? Or is there a lasting sense of security that I can claim in my life? I can nourish it and work toward it? And so one of you good folks here said, oh, there's a condo in my building available for rent. It just happened. I made a beeline there, talked to the realtor, signed on the dotted line. And now in 2 months, I know where I'm headed. I know what's next. And it's a possibility to recreate, to resurrect my sense of home, of safety, of comfort, of rest. All that home means to each and every one of us. My home didn't die. It changed form. It changed address. How many things in our lives must we let go? Then are we ready? How will that resurrect? What new possibility will that take shape? It wouldn't be appropriate for me to talk about your individual lives, so let me just say, in general, I know those of you that have had sudden transitions in your careers and in your lives. And I've seen your sense of faith. There's a new possibility here. And as it unfolded and as time went by, you went, wow, I didn't know the good things, the possibilities that were coming. But how did you get there? You had to trust life. You had to take up your hope and cherish it and rebuild it in a new way. This is the Easter thought. This is the resurrection idea. You want to get really practical about it? In your times of meditation or your spiritual practice, whatever you do, just spend a few moments paying attention to the breathing of your body and how it teaches you of renewal, cleansing, balancing, healing. You know, my little practice, I've said it before, hold your breath, see where that gets you. You need that circle of life working in you, restoring you physically, restoring the hopes and dreams, the sense of purpose and joy in your soul, in your thoughts, your feelings, and your willingness to act. Think of this gift that God has given you to be a living soul, a living body, a living spirit that can renew and recreate itself. Now, I've tried recreating my 21-year-old self. It hasn't worked so far. What's the point? Why would I want to be that? I want to be me here, now. I don't know about any of you. I'm not going to pick out ages here. But I remembered when I turned 50 and a few days of depression and mourning. I looked at my life, all the things I had failed at, all the things that I didn't accomplish, the family I never had, and it was depressing. Until I finally caught the idea. That's not reality. That's not my life. I want to be thankful and fully present to me here now. That's how life can work through us. To be grateful for what we are in this very moment. That kind of receptivity, that kind of gratitude will make you capable of seeing what's next, of seeing how your life is unfolding at any age. 15, 25, 75, it doesn't matter. You look around this community, you see someone with joy, expectation, and gratitude about their life. Just watch, and you'll see that it's not dependent upon their physical age. It's not dependent on what they're going through in life. Jesus said, in this life, you will have trials and tribulations, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. That Spirit is within you. That Spirit you can trust to take you in the direction of your greatest good. But we have to look beyond the obstacles and look to the possibilities. One of our great teachers in New Thought, Emmett Fox, who had the Church of the Healing Christ in New York City in the 1930s and 40s. He had services in the old Hippodrome before it was torn down. He'd have 5,000 people come on Sunday. When the Hippodrome was destroyed, he had to look for another place. Carnegie Hall was one of them. And he had a teaching that he gave as a gift to Unity to print, to sell, as a pamphlet, as a hope, as a technique. It was called the Golden Key. It's still printed, decades later. Thousands and thousands of copies. We've talked about it here. And it's this simple idea, this simple key to life. It is the resurrection idea. He said, whatever challenges you're facing, the golden key is quit thinking about the problem and think about the possibility. Quit thinking about the problem and think about God, the infinite yes, instead. That is a technique that can open doors for you. It's a technique that can make the resurrection idea real to you. It builds your faith. It builds possibilities. This sense of what is becoming, what is yet to be. So I invite us to turn within and to just paint a scene with the power of imagination, your mind's eye. Close your eyes if you choose, but without being too scary, be willing to go into a darkened room, a tomb, as it were. Look around. What is there? What experience in your life seems to be fading? Maybe not yet dying, but fading away. What does that experience mean for you? Perhaps your career is changing. A job is in flux. A relationship is feeling different. Whatever it is, are you willing to trust that it is transforming, that it's taking on new possibility in your life? Do you trust life to bring you new opportunity? If you want to trust life more, you have to let go of the fear of change and embrace the renewal of new good, new opportunity. Let this resurrection idea have its full effect in you. As Paul wrote, be renewed, raised, resurrected by the renewal of your mind. That is how creative you are. That is the master artist that God has created in you. You have this ability to let go of what has been and greet with joy what is becoming. Are you willing to raise your spiritual sight from what seems to be an end or a death and behold the new? A new form of good, of joy, of well-being. A new sense of purpose, a new opportunity to serve as something greater than your own life. That you may be a gift to the world. This is the resurrection idea. And just make this note to self. This resurrection idea is not a one and done. It's not your feeling on March 31st, 2024. It is a feeling and a hope that you must capture, recreate, stir to life each and every day. We want the sun to return tomorrow, to light a new day for us. You also have a responsibility that the sun, the hope, the vision arises in you each day, making your new life possible. Behold that inner sunrise Give thanks for it. And tomorrow, cultivate it again. Call it forth again. Myrtle Fillmore wrote a powerful affirmation a century ago. She wrote, "Jesus Christ is now here, raising me to his consciousness of life." Let that thought, that affirmation, put it in your own words, but affirm each day as a new possibility, as a resurrection idea. And you will be blessed. And you will be a blessing to your family, your community, your world, because you see the rising sun. You see the ever-changing life, and you embrace it. And so it is. And gently allow your attention to return to this time and this place. But know you have planted an inner seed, something in your mind and heart. Faith, a sense of purpose. I will go forward. Thank you, God, that it is so.